Way back in the distant year of 2024, practically ancient history by board game hype train standards, we recognized Harvest as one of our top games of the year, and now the inevitable expansions of Fall Festival and Street Fair are out. They're small, they're interesting, they're adorable, and they're worth a mini review. In addition to 2 new characters, Fall Festival's major focus is the new festival board and baskets. Each round, players will have an additional action placement with their basket exclusively in this new area, with earlier placements giving bonus money or having a harvest action, ultimately buying one of the new festival cards, which fall into 2 camps. A set collection endgame point set of pies, with pumpkin pie being the most coveted singular copy, or the more interesting one-time effects that juice your next activation of a particular location. These are subtle, but add an interesting compulsion to the game, incentivizing divergent strategies by increasing opportunity without really having to wrestle with the concerning balancing dynamics of persistent powers that other games might have reached to in an expansion. Same with the basket placement, timing is everything, and since the cards cycle downward as purchased at the same cost as their level of building, there's a healthy cost-benefit analysis to be done about when you try to nab a card, though importantly, you also get an opportunity to buy a card anytime you harvest, again, just giving you a little bit of crunch to consider without a lot of extra weight. The 2 new characters, they're cool. Great designs as usual. Francie is adorable in her suspenders and never pays for these festival cards. And Finn and Maxie are a 2-parter character with unique player tokens that must be used in place of the Barrows, as they get much more powerful actions at the expense of 1 fewer placement per turn. I found these guys to be the most complex Harvest characters to play, and fewer turns feels like it should be a huge handicap, but in my testing they manage very well, though not unreasonably so. Lastly, we have Street Fair, 5 double-sided tiles that can be used individually or mixed and matched to add global changes to the game, from scoring extra for those oft-overlooked endgame point buildings to incentivizing diverse crops to some changes to what purchases can be made. Simple, global, interesting, I dig it. If I had any other criticisms here, it's that even though these expansions seem somewhat inevitable, they don't really seem essential, and neither particularly come across as ambitious either. I mean, I would have loved to have seen variant versions of the original 4 crops, or real estate specific property that could be purchased and added onto your farm to allow more space for the buildings that are often ignored for the fact that it's taking up the area that you can harvest from. But instead, what we got is smaller in scope and perhaps a more natural fit. Harvest is one of my recent faves for a reason, and there wasn't a big old fall festival and fair-shaped hole in it, but the additions don't detract either. So I plan on continuing to use a random assortment of 3 of the fair tiles and the fall festival board in pretty much every game that I play from this point forward, with newcomer or experienced farmers alike, and I have a feeling that any dedicated Harvest fan is going to end up wanting to do the same. And that's our review, but let me know, what is your favorite slight expansion for a game? Put it in the comments below, and as always, thanks for watching, thanks for supporting, thanks for being an awesome community. You know that I've been Jack for the Cardboard Herald.